Hi, this is Roger Wool. I'm the author of the Aristotle Reaction, and today I'm going to give you a quick behind-the-scenes look at the test harness used to create the simulations that you read about in the book, the Aristotle Reaction. Now, this is a simulator that was created by Alexander Lozitsky to test the theories that you read about in the book. So I'm going to walk you through a quick overview of what you're seeing on the simulator here, and then we're going to talk through the basic settings, and then we're just going to let this population run through and see if we can achieve any sort of stability. So the first thing is, if you don't recognize this map in the upper right hand corner, then you should probably stop listening right now, because I don't want to give away any spoilers that might ruin the story for you. So just shut her down and come back after you've had a chance to read the book. So the basic layout should look fairly similar to those of you who've read the story. You see that we have a population here right now. It's just a little under 150,000. We've gone through the first 8 years of simulation. We see that the satisfaction, or the H factor, as you read about in the book, is just about 60% of the population. It did a quick decline right off the bat. We have a technology factor, which determines how technologically sophisticated they are, and the technology helps with the overall survival of the population. The more technology you have, the easier it is to produce what they need to survive. We have a standard of living graph here. 1 is the bare minimum that required to sustain a person for a year. So the average right now is about 1.2. So this society is just on the brink of survival. And this ability here represents the average ability of a person. So if someone who was born would have an ability of 1, an average person, but through education that can grow over time. And of course, education makes them more productive and able to produce what they need better. Crime here right now is a huge crime spree. We see that nearly everything that's being saved is being looted or stolen. The government tab is showing the tax rate. So we see taxes are being increased. Well, there's welfare handouts is somewhat on the rise. And then finally, the philosophy indicator here tells us where this dot here, the center of values, is located. So right now we see a pretty even split between the mystic and the subjective corners of the map, with the objective being fairly low. So the corner here, you see obviously the triangle is the philosophy map. We have in the M corner is mystic, the S corner is the subjective, and the O in the upper portion here is the objective. So we have a largely mystic, subjective, and a little bit of objective to this population. So we're going to go ahead here and run some simulations and just sort of see how they live. Now, these people are caring about the actions needed to sustain their life according to some basic rules driven by their philosophy. The basics of that philosophy says that they have certain things they value that they want to achieve, and they have certain virtues, that is, ways that they wish to go about achieving things. I'm going to stop it here for just a quick second. So when a man's virtues achieve his values, he's happy according to the game. So we see here right now the satisfaction is remaining about 60% with a slight decline. So I'm going to go ahead and add a filter here on the graph so we can see here the overall satisfaction of people. And basically, the brighter green a certain circle is here, the brighter, the more satisfied they are. The darker ones are less satisfied. So let's go ahead and let this continue to run here. And you see there's a lot of motion. People are shifting values, but it looks like the population's declining here, even though the satisfaction's staying the same. And yeah, it looks like there's sort of been a general decline. We grew for a while, and then it started to decline. I'm looking at the technology now. We see it looks like the productivity and the technology is starting to increase as people are able to get past. Big shift going towards the objective, as the overall productivity of the society seems to have soared. The standard of living has increased significantly all of a sudden, and the crime rate has declined. We see that the government, with productivity being up so high, is just about maxed out its tax rate, and the population is shifting up towards the objective corner. So yeah, it looks like we reached a period there where after about 200 years there was a sudden dip. The the technology and the production and the standard of living suddenly increased, and um, the people were free to go ahead and move up into a new section. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this simulation quickly. I'm going to go ahead and open up a file that we use to set the basic starting parameters, um, and we're going to open this up and see if we can adjust something here and start a new simulation. So this time I'm going to set the overall resources of this society to 1, which is a basic starting point. I'm going to set the tax rate to say 30, or let's make it 40%. I'm going to limit the overall freedom of the people so that they can't take all the actions they want to take. And let's see if this has any impact in the overall result that we got from our simulation. So I'm starting the game again here. Let me load this into the window, and I'm going to hit run, and we're going to see that a similar starting point. Everything is sort of polarized into some different groups: mystic, objective, and subjective. We have people moving around. Again, let me add a filter here, satisfaction filter. And after an initial population burst, as the initial setting stabilized, we see some decline underway. Satisfaction at about 60%. Looks pretty similar to what we had last time, except we are seeing that the overall standard of living is pretty much staying the same, and the objective corner is dying off. We have a fair number moving towards the mystic corner. So for some reason, because of the lack of the higher tax, which was taking away from the producers, as well as the more limited motion, we're seeing fewer people in the mystic corner. And then now we're seeing certain groups try to get out, and they're moving towards the subjective. Really nothing. There's no motivation to go up into the objective corner. There's nothing. You can't really achieve your values in that section. The people that are moving off are doing so because they're receiving the benefit of charity, and they're either able to take government handouts from welfare, or they can steal what they need, or there is a certain charity component to the mystic component. So the mystic component achieves their values when they're able to sacrifice their interest to the needs of others, and they can give away. Well, this is interesting. We got a couple of manoids suddenly taking off towards the objective. Whoa, this is unexpected and bizarre. Just as the population was about to die off, a couple have suddenly decided that the society was on the brink of, I guess, starvation, and or going out of existence, and now it's suddenly taken off. The satisfaction was really low, and now we've got 4 people, 5, 6 people. So there is a lifespan to these people, that they're born with values similar to their parents, and then they can live a life, and then they die off. So the population changes over time. Wow, I didn't expect this. I haven't seen this exact behavior before, but this group has suddenly taken off, and with any luck, these 5 or 6, 4 people can survive here. They've got good technology. They're as productive as they can be. Their standard of living is going up and up and up. There's no crime. Government's still taking their share. Unfortunately, the government setting was hard coded, and yeah, look at that. The mystic suddenly dropped to nothing, and the objective took over, and now we've got 10, 12 people, and so this may just stabilize, and we may have just seen the birth of a new society here. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you stay tuned and continue to follow the progress of the game model here. We hope to do more with this in the future, and by all means, if you haven't read the Aristotle reaction, please do, and if any of your friends want to, have them look it up at www.aristotlereaction.com. Thank you.